challenges that you see in the present atmosphere, as we discussed in the summit also, that are facing the government and the cyber security?
Sure. So I head an organization called Naesys Dimension. We are pretty much 100% government-facing organization. Government-facing means all our revenues generally come from government sector only. So that means that gives us a huge leverage to understand the government processes and their way of working. Naesys has four distinctive areas to work on actually. E-governance being one of the largest, which contributes to majority of our revenues. Then the second largest revenue contributor is the digital security. We have a division called security division, which has two distinctive areas. One is the digital security, and second is the public safety. So public security and safety. So today the forum, so I'll talk about much on the digital security initiatives that we have taken. Naesys perhaps is one of the best organization when it comes to the high end security solutions, implementations when it comes to why I'm saying that, because I think one of the largest security implementation SOC done in India, or India has ever seen, is UID, and I take pride to say that Naesys is the one who's implemented actually the UID SIM. That's one area. Second, public safety also, we are pretty much part of the Government of India Smart City initiatives. So you will see us almost everywhere, when it comes to smart city, kind of projects. Yeah.
Okay. And since you are working so close with the government, what are the main challenges that you see in the security domain right now that the government is facing, and you feel that these should be tackled
Sure.
at topmost priority?
See, the issue with the government is that there's no clear, policy framework been, although I mean they have policy in place, but it's some of the places, it's not even mandated, it's not mandatory, for people, organizations to actually, to go for. So, so when it comes to the government, perhaps the PSUs are the only one who are really serious about it, and they should be. But if it comes to the mainstream of government, organizations, there they perhaps lack, in terms of the adaptation of the policy framework, derived out of Government of India initiative. So I think the problem is they are not very serious about it. In terms of because they don't own the infrastructure. If you see the government today, they hardly any organization which own the I'm talking about the ministries and the mainstream own the infrastructure. The infrastructure is maintained by NIC. So they are not pretty much bothered about the fact that what security and the concerns and so on and so forth. So I think
It is the NIC which needs to kind of
absolutely,
get its
absolutely,
together.
absolutely. So if you see the security implementations, large security implementations done in India is only in the PSUs or in the defense area, defense sectors. Not much in the ministries side, and not much in the there are clear examples of we heard it today from the National Cyber Security Standard DG. There are attempts, on various, intellectual properties, domain within the Government of India, organizations. So I think yes, it's high time that the policy should be put in front. It should be made mandatory, for government organizations to actually adopt to.
So when you talked about smart city and you will be working in tandem with the government for smart cities, what is your role going to be, and where will
Sure.
we see you?
So our strength lies in couple of areas. One of the area of smart city is the citizen services. So we're very strong on the citizen services side. So if you see, we have implemented citizen services. Citizen services has three major areas. One is is the licensing, the certification part. You go for birth certificate, death certificate, marriage certificate. The second area is the licensing part. You go for shop license, agricultural license, and so on and so forth. And third is the revenue services. So we have automated the entire gamut of all these services. That's one side. Second side is the area where we have our own control and command centers, wherein we can actually plug in all the applications, all the databases, all the security features, video analytics, and all onto a one single platform. And you can, from one single console, you can manage all these part of smart city initiatives that you have. Yeah.
And you also mentioned about your association with the UID.
Yes. So
What
you,
has
yeah.
been your experience? And
Sure. Yeah. So UID is perhaps the largest, database, and then your data, my data, everybody's data is there, and we all know that the future passwords are going to be your fingers and eyes, and it's all there. It's all there in their database. So that means if the proper security measures are not taken, then the hackers would have access to your data, my data, and perhaps do transactions on our behalf. So what we have done is we've created we've implemented SA, security analytics out there, which creates a kind of a wall outside the infrastructure, and prevent any kind of hacking to be done on top of this data. It creates a complete over the period of time, it creates a complete behavioral pattern of the entire infrastructure of UID. Anything happening beyond this behavior will be actually neglected, and will be stopped and prevented.
so have there been any kind of, what are the kind of known attacks on this cyber breaches for this?
There are many,
Since this is
I'm
very
I'm
sensitive
not.
and,
There are many attempts actually. Specifically, if you ask me, during the Day time, during the Republic Day time,
okay.
there are a lot of attacks come actually on these infrastructure.
Why particularly these 2 days?
They are very sensitive dates, when it comes to India. Independence Day is very important, and if the services are stopped by these unknown factors.
More of terrorism kind of
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a
form of terrorism.
and we, end of the day, we all know that the next wars
It's
is going to be cyber wars. It's not going to be with the bombs and tanks, and so yeah. So UID, we are very proud of actually. One more implementation that we have is the DRDO, which is Defense Research and Development Organization, which is very prestigious for us actually. So we are doing the same SA lab for them in DRDO.
Is there a particular project that you're associated with?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we grabbed that project recently, and it's underway
Where
right
is
now.
it? What is the
It's a DRDO implementation, so I may not be able to comment much on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Anything else that you would like to add? What is your goal going to be in the next? What is your
Sure.
vision?
So I think, as I said, there are 4 distinctive areas that we have. Of course, e-governance is going to be our main forte. Digital security, or the security for that matter, whether digital security or the public security or asset security, is going to be our main focus area. And I think it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning in the government area. As I said, we deal only in government sector, so government is pretty nascent at this point in time, and investments are coming now. Government is now getting more and more active.
They're waking up to the reality that
yeah.
they need to really.
Correct. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
lot.
Yeah. Lovely.